Hey everyone, how you doing today? Thought I would show you this weird contraption I've been working on. I'm trying something a little bit different with the paint job. It's sort of Skaar oriented, but it is a little different. Trying to get a little more color into it and a different color palette thing there. But it's a really weird ship, I gotta say. But it's coming along. I don't have the interior done. But I was kind of like messing around with part placements and kind of the general layout of the interior. And I made some more hull changes to it too. I'm still thinking I want to do something about these rear uh, rocket launcher positions because I don't know. I just don't like the what they're sitting on very much. It's kind of a blobby block formation there that I think I could do something a little bit more interesting with that than what's going on there. I kind of like the position of where they are, being it back like that and stuff like that. But other than that, this is kind of what it looks like, sort of from the outside. Now, it's not fully done, and I got a lot more texturing and things to do and little tweaks and detailing. I was kind of messing around a lot with just kind of like painting it, trying one thing and trying a different thing, and probably spent a little bit too much time doing that. It'd probably been easier if I would just picked like it just did exactly how I would have done like regular Skaar. But this is kind of it's still Skaar. I think this will be a Skaar ship. It's got a little bit different paint job on it, a little color basically. So on the insides and everything, it does have this way in from the bottom over on this one side here. Now keep in mind I do not have the interior done. Let me get the light on. I'm setting up a place for a warp core that it will not come with stock. It's going to have locations for 2 generators, and I did want to get a third location to add a third generator for upgrading and things like that. I've got little nooks and crannies here and there. Some open room in this area here, and then it does go up the elevator briefly to the bridge area. And yeah, I got to figure out what I'm doing with the core yet too. That's another thing. And a little bit of room up here, but not much. I could probably get some utility functions in here. And I think this would be the third location for another generator. And I got to deal with like maybe adding a couple improved CPU cores or something like that in the mix somewhere too. And then I think I'll be all right. Maybe another shield or 2 location, but I do have some room. I do have some room to work with, but it's weird. The ceiling is this is technically only like a 1 block tall ceiling because it's making up the floor right above it, so I can't put in like a lot here. I'm just trying to maximize the space, and like yeah, I got a lot of texturing to do and lighting and some more block work, and I can do more with the ceiling and stuff like that. So I just kind of wanted to show you where this creation's at right now. As in the numbers and things, that really has not changed whatsoever from where it was last time I showed it. Same CPU usage. I do have a little over 9,000 CPU left over on it. Trying to figure out how to utilize that. I can't really put in anything major. It would be maybe a utility function, I'm thinking. It's not really enough CPU, I don't think, for any kind of more weaponry. Or enough to upgrade a shield or do any of that kind of stuff. But I think it should work, hopefully. And yeah, that's kind of at the end of the day, the Core 2 Reforged Eden creation. It's very strange, very strange. I don't know what to say about that. I'm just kind of curious. Any thoughts on the wacky color? I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with this, and I started painting it totally different, and I was like, I don't like that either. And then I was building it right on location here where I was working on the Skaar carrier, and I sort of just kept on looking at that. I'm like, maybe I should just try to go Skaar with it. It could kind of fit. It's funky, but it doesn't necessarily look alien. It just looks funky is all. So as a name too, I was thinking about a really weird name, but I don't know if I'll go with that or not. I don't know if any of you ever seen a really bad movie. Okay, there was this movie franchise back in the day called Gone in 60 Seconds, and there was a newer release later on with Nicolas Cage in it. And that's when I first discovered the movie franchise. So I watched the Nicolas Cage movie. I thought that was kind of cool. And then later on, I was like browsing through a video store, and there was like the original Gone in 60 Seconds that, the Nicolas Cage one was kind of sort of trying to do a remake of the first one in some ways. So I watched that and I thought that was pretty good. And then I caught in the video store there was this Gone in 60 Seconds 2 and 3, like they were on the same like DVD thing, and it was like, what is this? I never even heard of this. Well, I mistakenly bought it because I was kind of into it back at the time, but it was really bad. Okay, really, really bad movie. I think like part three or whatever, it wasn't even like a regular movie. It was like somebody's, people running around with their video cameras doing things. But they made this weird car in it that was really low to the ground, and it was really heavily wedged, and literally it could drive undercars. Like if it came at another vehicle, it was like a ramp, like a steel ramp. So it would literally launch the other car up in the air if it like hit it, because it would like push it up with this really sharp wedge thing. And then they had this. It was ridiculously stupid. I mean, the whole thing about it. But then they had some kids out in the neighborhood when this was going on, and they just kind of filmed them doing this little wavy hand motion thing. And they're like, and they called this car the Slicer, but they pronounced it Slicer, like a little accent on it. So I was thinking about actually calling this the Slicer. The Skaar Slicer, but I don't know. It's. I just thought I'd explain that to you. It's a pretty wacky name. I could come up with some other names too, I guess. But I don't even know what this looks like. It's a strange concoction. I hope it works. I hope it works in game. That's all I can say. It's been a bit of a frustrating build, but kind of educational as well. So I mean, I can't I can't condemn it. I like the challenges of trying to come up with something, and it's kind of fun sometimes. Like this one, I went through a lot of test chassis and playing with numbers and things like that, and like this thing over here and the other ones that I made, and it sort of ended up to a functioning ship. And I think for what it is, I'm just trying to optimize the numbers. I'm trying to get as most out of that CPU as I know how to possibly do. With like doing the thruster thing, and I really like that heads up about the whole shield thing. I don't know if I would have tried that or not. I would have probably just went with the advanced shield and called it a day. But I'm glad someone in comments suggested that, because that did help. Just gives you some extra free shield basically. But power-wise and everything else-wise, it works pretty good. I got to get the ammo storage in here yet. I haven't dealt with that yet. And there's a lot of blocks in here that don't need to be here, or could be container controllers, like all these walls in here and stuff like that. These are just carbon substrate blocks. I was just trying to lay it out, trying to figure out how I was going to make this work. And I had another issue. When you first came up, I was trying to make I didn't really want to put an elevator in here. I was trying to use a staircase because it only has to go up 2 blocks. But I couldn't fit it, and I do not like to use the 45-degree angle staircases. Often you can't climb them in the game. And they look kind of weird to me, because that's, proper staircase height and stuff is not 45 degrees. It's kind of an in between the 22.5 and the 45, somewhere in the middle. The main reason I never use them is because in gameplay, often, like how this is parked right now, it's probably not perfectly even on the ground, and therefore, if you try to climb up the staircase, it probably won't. You probably have to start like jumping, because you can't actually climb up the staircase. It's always been that case with that model staircase, but you never have the problem with the 22.5s, unless of course your ship's sideways or upside down or something. But things happen. But anyway, I just wanted to do a quick little thing, show you where I'm at with this. I haven't touched this yet because I didn't get a lot of time over the weekend. We got a lot of snow where I live, and not in the worst areas. That was around a little south of Buffalo, New York. I think they picked up 77 inches was the record snowfall total there. I did get 2 foot here though, so not near as bad as the other thing, and it really wasn't that bad. It's just I did have like a day and a half, 2 days that I really, with my vehicle, just stayed home. I I was going to get stuck if I tried to get out of the neighborhood. The snow was just too deep. I only got about 6 inches of ground clearance, and yeah, as soon as you have more than 6 inches of snow on the ground, the bottom of the car hits the snow, and you are going to get stuck. There's not much. There's not really much you can do about that one with that kind of vehicle. But anyway, enough of me ranting about this, that, the other thing, and this is kind of what it is. And I want to get this wrapped up, hopefully today or tomorrow, and get this out. And then right after that, I'm going to resume work on this guy over here, which is kind of my main priority right now. But this one was a timely thing, so I'm running out of time to get it done. So it's close. For another few hours, I think I'll have it wrapped up, probably, hopefully. Anyway, you all have yourself a great day, and I'll talk to you later.